Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. We begin tonight as the weather is officially changing. Look at that. Up at Schweitzer, the snow was coming down this afternoon, and WSU Pullman tweeted out some video of snowflakes falling down on the Palouse as well. So if you live in the Northwest, you are feeling the chill today. I certainly felt it. We want to see what it looks like near you. Please text us your photos to 509-448-2000 so we can highlight them here on KREM 2 News. Now here in Spokane, it was mostly rain. We certainly had into the last full week of October. We were prepared for overcast skies and rain here over the next few days. We're certainly getting a nice taste of that if that's the weather that you like. Jeremy Legou may be the most excited person about all this cold weather that we've had so far. How are you doing, Jeremy?
Whitney, it's all about how you frame your mindset here.
I think that's a good point.
Hear me out. This sucks. Can I say sucks
Okay,
on TV?
now what happened to you? Because on Friday, you couldn't have been more excited about it.
Put up that Schweitzer picture and I'm the most excited person on the planet. So when it comes to mindset, for me, I'm kind of, wow, whatever. I'm thinking about what's going on in the mountains because snow is amazing and snow in the mountains is good for everything. First and foremost, mountain recreation in the winter. But yes, I don't know if I can say that word on TV. It's not great. We'll say that. 43 degrees right now, and we're catching a little bit of a break in some of that rain, and that's kind of where it's been all day. Temps in the low 40s or upper 30s, and just, yeah. We even saw a few snowflakes here in Spokane. You want to see an excited me? The first snowflakes that come down and stick this year, I'm going to look like a dog in its first snow. Winter weather advisory is in effect for the Northern Cascades and the Rockies. Once you get over this kind of west-facing slope that we have, a lot of weather dynamics that goes into it, but for now, just know that's what we're looking at. Some of that snow still coming down up high. Down to our south, a little bit of a convergence zone, putting down some rain just off to the east of Ritzville. That's moving across the northern portion of the Palouse, making its way over towards Stepview, St. John, you're in it. Tico, you're going to see that soon. So yeah, that's about it. We knew that was going to set up. Look, forecast models pick that up. It's going to kind of stay there. We might see a few more stray sprinkles in Spokane. As we get into Tuesday, most of that's up high to start the day. By Tuesday evening, we get a front moving in. And with that front, I think it hits about the evening commute, maybe a little after for eastern Washington, continues into Tuesday night, and by Wednesday morning, might see a few of those little snowflakes mixing in down low. Coming up, we're talking temps and why they're so important this time of year.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much. New at 4 today, we are hearing from investigators about what may have caused that float plane that crashed into the Puget Sound near Whidbey Island. It killed 10 people, including Spokane activist Sandy Williams and her partner Patricia Hicks. Investigators believe one part may be responsible for that entire plane going down. Take a look. This is the first update now from the NTSB since it pulled the wreckage from the bottom of the sea floor. The NTSB right now says it was able to recover about 85% of the plane itself. They've honed in on one part, the horizontal stabilizer actuator, which controls the pitch or up and down movement of the DHC-3 Otter seaplane, which was separated from the plane. It's an essential lock ring that has not been recovered.
Everything from it wasn't put together or held together correctly, it came apart somehow, or something else that we haven't yet determined.
So the last time this type of Otter plane was overhauled was in April of this year. It's unclear if the actuator at that time was put back together correctly. Now the NTSB is requesting the manufacturers release instructions on how to ensure that that lock plane or that lock ring is in place on the aircraft. In other news tonight, right now a health alert is still active for anyone living within about a mile of that Wilbur Ellis fertilizer plant fire in Grant County. The plant is located right near Moses Lake, and it caught fire yesterday afternoon and is a total loss. It burned to the ground within hours. Firefighters, though, had limited use of water because of fears that the chemicals from the plant would then leach in and contaminate the groundwater in that area. So they basically just had to let it burn. There is still a shelter-in-place order in effect for anyone in that area. Everyone within about a mile downwind from there, they are being advised right now to keep the doors doors and windows shut, to avoid going out for very long, and to turn off the outside air intakes if they can due to chemicals in the air from the smoke. It is a little bit breezy out there today. Fire officials say no one was at the plant at the time of the fire, but they're still working to figure out how it started. At this hour, Spokane police are investigating a body that was found by the Spokane River yesterday afternoon. It was found in the area of West Riverside and South A Street. They say it was found under suspicious circumstances. They do suspect that foul play may have been involved. Also, officers are saying there appears to be no danger to the community at this time, but we'll continue to bring you updates as we learn them. We did receive new developments this afternoon about the homeless camp near I-90. Today, we've confirmed the city of Spokane has issued several citations to the nonprofit Jules Helping Hands. They're cited right now for various illegal activities at the homeless camp on WashDOT property, including failing to get a permit for that cooling tent. A city spokesperson told us citations are being issued daily to Jules Helping Hands, with the earliest one issued on September 23rd. In a Facebook post by Jules, they said they now have 16 citations from the city, totaling more than $9,100. Founder of Jules Helping Hands is Julie Garcia. She says they plan to contest all of those fines. We did receive copies of those citations through a public records request to the city of Spokane. Meantime, today the Spokane County Board of Commissioners met with Sheriff Ozzie Knezovich to discuss next steps for that homeless camp near I-90. The board and the sheriff are sharing their action and saying that it needs to be taken quickly, especially now that winter weather is quickly approaching.
The weather that we're coming into. Compassion isn't leaving people out at Camp Hope.
Compassion is getting them the proper help that they need. Compassion is getting them safe, clean living.
The Board of Commissioners will also be meeting again tomorrow to further discuss plans for that camp. And we have just over 2 weeks until Election Day. Just last night, Gonzaga hosted the first of 2 Senate debates between incumbent Democrat Patty Murray and her opponent, Republican challenger and political newcomer Tiffany Smiley. Drew Mickelson from our Seattle sister station has the highlights from that debate.
We just heard a whole slew of things that I'd love to take time to rebut.
Throughout the hour-long debate, each candidate got in their digs.
You know, Senator Murray, you're not the mom in tennis shoes anymore. It's been 30 years. You've become a career politician.
I feel like I'm listening to Mitch McConnell on the Senate floor, so let me take a breath.
I took on Washington, D.C., Patty, and I won. You've never taken on Washington, D.C. You are Washington, D.C.
How much can I correct in 30 seconds? So first of all,
the homeless, how to best care for salmon, and a dozen other topics were all covered at the Spokane Showdown, along with issues that could determine the midterms, like abortion. Would Tiffany Smiley, a pro-life candidate, vote to ban abortions nationwide?
I've been clear from the very beginning, I oppose a federal abortion ban. That's long before the unprecedented leak from the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's decision gave the power to the people, and that's where I believe it belongs. I respect the will of the voters here in Washington State.
I hear my opponent over there saying, I'm 100% pro-life, don't worry. I gotta tell you, I was in the Senate. I saw Supreme Court nominees come in front of us and say to us, I'm pro-life, don't worry, and look what happened.
The January 6th riots came up too. Senator Murray said Smiley's questioning of the 2020 election sows mistrust for our democracy.
My husband lost his eyesight fighting for our country. He's here in this debate listening to us. He lost his eyesight fighting for democracy, and our family lives with that sacrifice every single day. It's certainly why I'm in this fight as well. And so I want to ask, do you believe that me and my family are a threat to democracy, Senator Murray? Because tell everyone here today.
No one questions her belief in our democracy or her husband's fight for our country, ever. But do not conflate that with misconstruing about the intent of insurrectionists who were using their brute force to overtake the peaceful transfer of power.
Smiley blamed Murray for rising gas prices and crime, saying it's time for a change. Murray says there's more work to be done.
I feel good. It was an opportunity to share the contrast and the difference between the two candidates. I wish it was before ballots dropped, but you know, I think my plan is clear. I have an agenda for recovery and reform. We need to turn crisis into hope for all of Washington.
Now, Gonzaga also hosted a debate for the remaining 2 years of former Washington Secretary of State Kim Wyman's position. Incumbent Democrat Stephen Hobbs was appointed to that position by the governor after Wyman left for a job in the Biden administration last November. Hobbs is now vying to keep that job as he faces nonpartisan challenger Julie Anderson. The debate largely focused on 2 key topics, including election security and voter turnout.
I don't like ranked choice voting, and the reason I don't is because it disenfranchises communities and it leaves us vulnerable for misinformation.
So I think the biggest misconception is how person-centered elections still is and what a manual job it still is, despite the advances in technology.
In the primaries, incumbent Hobbs won 40% of the vote, while Anderson came in second with 13%. King 5 political analyst Rob McKenna says this could be the first time that someone is running as nonpartisan at a statewide level. And we only showed you some of the highlights from both debates, but if you would like to watch the full events, you can do so. You can text the word debate to 509-448-2000, and we'll send a link with those debates right to your phone. You can also watch it right now on our KREM 2 Plus streaming service on Roku or Fire TV.